You can see it from the street. And we're going to go to our Tom Waite now, who is at the Getty Villa, and that's right off PCH, Tom. How's it going out there? Is that structure safe?
It is impossible to tell, Pat, because the visibility here is such a nightmare. You can barely see, just a few yards in front of you. We're right across from the Getty Villa, and you can see the glow of flames and all that smoke there right on the hillside that leads up into the villa. And then, Greg, let's swing over here. You can see just how much flame and fire that firefighters are dealing with here. The conditions are just miserable where we are right now. It is so difficult to breathe, difficult to see. You can see the flames across PCH. I'm not even turning my mic into the wind. I'm standing and trying to block it because it's so windy where we are that it's creating a completely just horrific, dangerous conditions for firefighters. It looks like the wind is blowing out into the ocean at this moment, but it's sort of manic. It's whipping around. And the hillside, though, there by the Getty, it's very ominous. We are seeing flames, but I can't even see up the hill. It's just terrible conditions. We were just in a neighborhood just north of PCH, just to the east of PCH, and it was just also the same conditions. Visibility, there's just so much smoke, and that's just making it so challenging for firefighters. We saw a number of firefighters working to contain the embers that were flying around and kind of in that particular neighborhood. And then we came down here and we could see the Getty Villa and the flames on the hillside. And you can see it looks like dystopian there. I mean, it looks like a charred planetary landscape or something. There's just, look at that as the winds just whip up. Look at how intense that is right there on the hillside, and the flames just, climbing up and racing up that hillside. There, now you can finally see the villa. Okay, you can finally make it out there, I think. I don't know if there's, it looks like there's some flame on something. I don't know what, it's so hard to see what that is. Greg, can you tell what that is from here?
I don't know.
Yeah, we can't tell, but there's flames. It looks like on some sort of structure, but I don't know for certain what that is. It's just so hard to tell. But for a second there, you could actually see the villa or a structure near it. But it's very disorienting, the amount of smoke and just it's very challenging. I can only imagine how difficult this is for firefighters trying to get a handle on this. But there, if you just along the road, you can see just along that the retaining wall there it's burned. I'm trying to I want to let folks know where I was just a few moments ago, and because it was good news up there. It was Blue Sail Drive. That's where we just were. We went to the top of the hill, and a lot of the homes there looked fine. For people who live there, it did not look like any of the homes were engulfed. It looks like firefighters were really meticulously going through that neighborhood and trying to douse hot spots, make sure that none of the homes were, sort of the embers were inside roofs or attics. There were the houses, though, I was told by a firefighter there, that were either damaged or on fire, but it was not an overwhelming amount. We went through the neighborhood, so there some positive news there for people.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Tom's microphone for just a sec. And Pat, before there was the Getty Museum, there was the Getty Villa, and there's still so many antiquities inside that building, beautiful centuries-old antiquities that have been on display there for the public to see, and it would just be such a shame if the fire overtakes that building.
I'm back.
Okay, Tom, you're back with us?
I'm back with you, yeah. So
right.
We're just trying to figure out what that is, Pat, up there. It's so hard to tell. If that's vegetation burning up there, but we got finally the outline of what I believe is the Getty Villa at the top of the hill. But with now night plus the smoke obscuring everything, it's just so hard to tell. But certainly it's a very dangerous situation, precarious situation, because you can see the smoldering hillside, and that is. When we just had a big gust a few minutes ago, it lit up. It just it fanned the flames. It's like if you go to a barbecue and start fanning the coals, and they start getting brighter. That's what it looked like. I'm not sure how much it translated there on the screen, but certainly firefighters are here on the scene, and they are attacking this a lot. They have a lot of people on this, a lot of personnel. They of course will be fighting this intensely. But they're spread so thin, as you would imagine, just having to get through all these neighborhoods and try. And we just saw there was another round of sheriffs or LAPD going through and making evacuation orders in that neighborhood I was just talking about, up in, I believe it was Blue Trail Road. I want to verify that one more time just to make sure. Blue Sail Drive. So we heard them through the loudspeaker making evacuations there again, and of course there were already evacuation orders in place in that area. But and just driving through, there was another spot along Sunset, just off of PCH, where there was cars burning. And I think we may have had reporters there earlier too, but we saw cars burning in that lot, just across the street from a strip mall. So just so much damage here, and just the weather is so manic right now. It finally is calming down a little bit, but it picks back up. Pat, you remember we were alive all night on the fire in Malibu just a few weeks ago, and it's the same situation. We were talking about then, and Juan, I know you've been out covering these things as well. It's like those moments where you have a few seconds where, oh, maybe it's calming down, and then it just blows up again.
Mm-hmm. You know what I also recall from the Malibu fire is because it was so dark and smoky, we didn't have a clear picture as to what was on fire. And the reason I say that, I'm not just talking about homes, that there was a particular structure, a particular area that we thought could have been on fire, and it wasn't, thank goodness. I think it was a lab of some kind. So we're hoping that this applies to the Getty Villa. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're still doing some construction or work on
What is it?
On the villa.
They're always doing a little something to it, to bring it.
It looks like it's the fence that's on fire up there. It looks like the fence. That's what it's looking like from this angle.
Okay, but you know
I
what?
don't think the actual structure.
That's good.
Maybe a retaining fence of some sort.
Yeah. And you did mention that there were still some firefighters, right, Tom?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Pat, they have the area swarmed. I mean, there's many engines we see from where we're standing. It's just like so surreal though, looking at the Getty Villa sign with this smoke obscuring it, and then looking up the hill and seeing the flames. It's heartbreaking and scary, and I think that is the villa right there next to those. Yeah, that is the villa, but it doesn't look like those flames are on the. Yeah. And I don't think you can see. I think now you can actually make the villa out. I think they're on the top of the hill.
Okay, I think Mike, Tom, stand by. I think Mike Rogers has some updated information.
Yeah, we just heard from Getty Villa. The structure itself is not on fire. As we're seeing in Tom's live shot here, fences, shrubbery, trees are on fire, but the building itself, according to the Getty, is not on fire. The Getty also wants to point out that the museum galleries and the library archives have been sealed off from smoke by what they call state-of-the-art air handling systems, so not to damage or destroy anything that's in there. They also say that the walls are double-walled of the galleries, so it provides significant protection for the collection. So while they say the building's not on fire, even if their fire were to get there, it sounds like they've got it designed in a way that the things inside of it would be protected.
Well, we are really happy to hear that, Mike. I mean, you talk about like others being affected, and we talk about the smoke and how toxic it is. You've got people that, from the west side that are breathing in that smoke and sending in pictures of flames or smoke that they can see from the marina, from different parts of Southern California, and that's certainly not going to be safe because that's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, and AQMD has already issued an air quality warning.
No wonder.
For the area. Yeah.
Well, Pat, I was coming in around 11 a.m. This morning. I was in San Gabriel Valley, and on the 10 freeway, you could see that huge plume of smoke up over. It looked like it was up and over downtown Los Angeles. You couldn't necessarily tell from the vantage point where it was, but we knew it was the Pacific Palisades. But this is a fire storm that's going to be affecting a lot of us, as you said, for the coming days.
No question. I opened my front door and there was a big plume of smoke I'm looking at over the canyon. And even coming in today, folks, if you're on the freeways, hopefully you're not out. But if you are, you have to be careful as well because there's flying debris. You know, tree bark flying all across the freeway and streets because of these powerful winds. I think it's safe to say that we've taken some hits here in our studio since we've been on the air. In fact, I believe at least 4. We've been fortunate to have the power come back on because of generator.
Right.
But a lot of things that are happening, even if you're not in the direct line of the fire. You've got street lights, traffic lights that are out in some areas and some intersections. So this certainly impacts a much larger area than what we've been talking about. But that what we're looking at there in the Pacific Palisades is impacting so many people. When you think about 30,000 people that they want to evacuate, that is such a huge amount. That's even larger than the Malibu fire. Is that correct? I believe so.
I believe so as well. I'll have to go back and look at the exact numbers, but to your point, Pat, it is. I mean, look, DWP is reporting thousands and thousands of people without power. They're